flesh turns to ash.
Welcome to Neutral Gaming. Today's M+ episode showcases a Guardian Druid POV. The dungeon we are running is a plus 19 halls of attonment. Affixes are tyrannical, bursting, volcanic and tormented. To beat the halls of attonment timer you want to have some strong AoE DPS. Even in tyrannical weeks, there are several big pulls that allow you to save a lot of time. The first key pull is centered around the start of the dungeon. Another key situation will be playing the second shard correctly. The third key pull is right before the third shard. Here you can see some crazy numbers going on. Playing Echelon with some extra trash gives you another time bonus. The rest of the dungeon is more or less one giant pull. We had almost 5 minutes left on finishing, so be sure to check out all time saving pulls. Before we get into the details, I would appreciate a like, a comment or a subscription. This will help me out a lot and you will see more M+ highlight videos in the future. An MDT import string can be found in the video description. Let's get started with the details. The first pull of the dungeon can already make or break the key. It is one giant pull towards the shard on the left. You do want to include as many mobs as you are confident with. Everything is gathered around the shard. Here you want to use your bloodlust. This will help to boost your DPS but more importantly also your survivability as Guardian. Our Thrash while Incarnation does profit a lot from haste. And as we all know, the more trash we can cast, the more absorb shield we can create. Besides dealing damage, it is crucial for your DPS to kick as many casts as they can. Especially the wicked bolts. These can easily kill someone. Also, if targets are interrupted poorly, it is much harder to keep everything stacked on each other for maximum DPS. Executing the first large pull frees the way to the first tormentor that you can pull upwards from downstairs. Feel free to already lure him up while your team is fighting one or two left off to targets. You can think of him as target to reset cooldowns. Due to Incarnation being on a 3-minute cooldown, you want to make another small pull after the tormentor before you start with serious pulls again. The small group on the way to the right tormentor is perfect suited for this. For the next shard pull, you want to use the Gargoyle. He will reduce incoming group damage significantly. This makes a big pull possible without having bloodlust available. I like to include the Houndmaster into the shard pull. You can also play the Houndmaster beforehand if this makes you more comfortable. After this you will fight for your second anima power. Now you will run towards the last shard. Since your Incarnation is up again, you will clear a large part of the area close to the first boss with it. The mobs there are already pretty much stacked up. I advise to always wait until the Houndmaster reaches the left gate. This makes it much easier to stack mobs. As you can see, AoE classes really come in handy here. Our mage was able to pull around 70 to 100k DPS. This leaves you with one small relax pull followed by the last shard. Again, I advise to use one Gargoyle with the shard to reduce incoming AoE damage. Halkias has not changed since Season 1. As a tank you want to make sure to largely move him every time before he starts to spin. This helps your DPS to avoid running through puddles. There is one major advice that you need to follow in order to kill this boss easily without wasting Bloodlust. Have your Venthyr take 2 gargoyles. These guys are real bad boys and will make the fight so much faster. You can always take 2 at a time. After Halkias you instantly skip towards Echelon with any kind of invisibility. Have your team group up in the boss room. Since this boss is the most dangerous in this dungeon, I like to have another gargoyle here. Not only will it provide extra DPS, it will again reduce incoming damage. As you can see, I included some trash mobs into the boss fight since they will die fairly fast due to Bloodlust being used here properly. Echelon itself dies quite fast. The gargoyle will remove a large chunk of his life and also the Bloodlust kicks in. There is only one thing you want to make sure. Hit his small adds with his jump. If you leave too many of them alive you will die almost certain. At this point there are exactly 2 trash pulls between you and finishing the dungeon in time. The bosses are fairly easy, but the trash can be a real problem. Unless there is no other option. Make sure you are not using Incarnation for the Tormentor after Echelon. You absolutely need it for the pull after. Many groups will play 2 separate pulls, but I suggest performing a double pull. Why is this so good? Because the mobs have no other choice than stacking in the doorway cause of the line of sight situation. Once you pull the first 5 targets, there will line of sight in the doorway until you pull the next 4 target that will also line of sight on the way back. Your damage dealers will have fun on this pull again. Also, if you see yourself running out of cooldowns, everything can be crowd controlled pretty easy here. Simply because the rooms are so small. After this you make your way to the next boss. Depending on the week and your timer you can decide to skip the Tormentor right in front of the stairs. is really nothing to say about Elise. You will have 2 gargoyles for him, which lets you kill him incredibly fast, having no really dangerous mechanics. This boss just needs one thing: single target DPS to quickly proceed to the last room. The last room is just another damage race. And also it is time to shine for you as Guardian Druid. Lots of people ask me what crazy magic I perform here to out-DPS every other group member significantly. The answer is easy. Having balance affinity for extra range on Thrash Plus using Incarnation, an agility potion and fast fingers. As you can see, Thrash basically hits everything from wall to wall. So simply spam Thrash until your DPS shines. Other than that, you can use Heart of the Wild and a Boom can convoke once your Incarnation runs out, to further boost your numbers. This room can make a significant difference on the timer. Lord Chamberlain is the same as usual. Hence, we are finished with the run. I hope you had fun with this 9.1 Tormentor route for Halls of Attonment. Especially the pull size and the correct gargoyle usage is key to win in this dungeon. Let me know what you think about the content and editing. Also like, subscribe and all that stuff. We all need some support from time to time. Stay tuned.